This video was powered by Octagon MMA, and they have a sick card in Manchester at the AO Arena coming to you on November 4th. You've got Cartwright versus Rakic, a #1 contender fight in the bantamweight division. Cartwright is the UK's #3 bantamweight, and he makes his Octagon MMA debut. He's a former Cage Warriors champion, and he's only lost once in his career. Rakic is a 2-time KSW bantamweight champion. He's a master of submissions with 9 submission wins in the first round. You've also got Chadwick versus Ushkat. Chadwick has 47 professional fights across his career. He recently retired, but he's done a full U-turn as he didn't want to go out on a loss, and now he will make his final fight in front of a full AO arena. And of course, we can't forget about our 2 celebrities fighting on the night, Jake Quickenden and Paul Smith. A reality TV star and a comedian have spent 10 months honing their skills to take on their biggest challenge. Both are given their all to prepare for this, but only one will emerge victorious. And it all goes down the 4th of November at the AO Arena in Manchester. I'm going to be there, and tickets start from just £19. So click the link in the description below and get yourself to the event. I can't wait for it, but for now, enjoy the video. It's the prime card, undercard predictions. We're going to start at the bottom and go all the way to the top for Sol Papi versus Slim. First up, it's Alex Wasabi versus Nick LMAO versus Luis Pineda and B Dave. Obviously, you remember Pineda fought KSI. Didn't look great. Came back, looked a bit better. B Dave's a good character. Decent little fighter. I do think they're in there with 2 better fighters here in Wasabi and Nick LMAO. Nick beat Jay Swingler and Alex Wasabi beat Deji. So there's like 2 really decent wins. For my money, I bet on them for that reason. Next up, it's Chase Demore versus Tempo Arts. So this is Tempo Arts to start off with. Tempo, for a big lad who's going through a weight loss transformation, I thought he fought really well. He's only 18 years old. As you can see, he really wants a scrap. I'm not sure he knows how to box, but he's tough and he throws well. And I can see him, because he's 18, we're going to see him get better very, very quickly. But there's definitely room for improvement. Obviously, he's not the tallest guy for a heavyweight. That's hence the reason he's carrying the weight and trying to get rid of it. But the guy he was in there with really didn't want to fight, and that's a problem because you don't really get an accurate representation of where you're at. Also, Tempo Arts actually called me out, and like, fair play, but he's 18. You know what we're doing. So Chase Demore brings a totally different set of skills to the table. He's a lot bigger, he's a lot more naturally athletic, but he doesn't throw quite as confidently. But when he does land, you can see there's a lot of power. It's kind of like a lion who doesn't know how to bite yet. Like, this guy is a beast of an athlete, but doesn't know how to box. And the minute that clicks, most people who get in there with him are fucked. Right now, I'm looking at these 2 thinking, Tempo looks like the more natural fighter, but Chase Demore is a lunatic who's a beast of an athlete. So it just depends on whether or not Chase has learned how to jab. I mean, he doesn't throw very well. I'm going to lean towards Chase. I'm going to give this to Chase just based on pure athleticism. But I'm really looking forward to this. And this is actually a heavyweight influencer title fight. So whoever wins this, you could probably see them matched up with Arms Corleone, who looked really dangerous in the last Misfits card. The next fight is a rematch between Swarms and Ryan Taylor. Swarms got the win last time, but it was controversial. So the one thing Swarms did show in the last fight is he has hand speed, and he can throw a really nice jab. That jab stunned Ryan Taylor, and you see immediately he backed off. It turned out it had really done some damage to his eye, and the fight had to be stopped there and then. So Ryan Taylor really didn't get going in that fight. And when he does usually get going, he's one of the toughest fighters on Misfits, in my opinion. He's very tough, and he can crack. Whereas Swarms, despite the fight stoppage there, everything with him is on the back foot, and he just throws this jab out, and it's all defense, defense, defense. He's not aggressive enough. In this fight, in this rematch, a fight is going to break out, and one of the reasons for that is their face-off.
Literally, bro. Where's your kid that you've left? Where's your kid that you've left?
Yeah. That'll do it. That will do it. So Ryan's a fucking lunatic, basically. And look, he comes from like a BMX background where he's doing stunts and all sorts. And I just see this fight being completely different this time. I see Ryan going straight for the kill and Swarms lacking the aggression to give enough resistance in that, and Ryan winning that fight. But credit to Swarms, he's made a lot of improvements since he fought KSI, and I have been impressed with that. So you got Astrid Wet versus Alexia. It can't be a real name, that kind of Alexia. They've had a lot of back and forth. forth.
Folks, we are here. It is fight day.
Familiar face there? Wade in between two women like this? Bet you loved it, son. No, he's a professional. He's a professional. There's nothing going on. I have asked him.
Alexia, do you think if you went in for the kiss with KSI, do you think he would have rejected you?
Yeah.
More likely to kiss me than you. Look at you.
I think we've just stumbled down to gold.
Sorry, I don't look like a recovering crack addict.
She fucked that line up. And we're back in the room.
Crack addict, so I don't need to worry.
She's funny. I'll give her that.
Alexia, how are you feeling about the fight?
I think what we're really wondering from you lot is, who are you more likely to subscribe to in an OnlyFans sense? Which way are you leaning?
Astrid, she took your belt. Tell the people that maybe haven't seen it, what have you done to that belt? You've pretty much desecrated this thing.
Dragged it across the floor. I've put yogurt on it.
We're still talking about the belt, huh?
I've put it in a dishwasher.
Hold on, you put what on it?
Yogurt. I sat in the bath and I ate yogurt
Yogurt,
off it.
okay.
I sat in the bath and ate yogurt off it and then put it in the dishwasher. We're definitely not talking about the belt still. There's no way.
And I wouldn't have disrespected it so much if you'd have just apologised for punching me in the face.
I don't need to apologise for punching you in the face. If you threw water over anybody in the street, they would punch you in the face. That is a normal reaction.
This is mad, isn't it?
The first thing I want to see is your tits.
I'll just fast forward to that. I want to see if it get interesting. Turns out it does.
Okay, well, at least they're real.
Alright, okay.
God, Wade. Look at Wade. Oh, God bless Wade.
Wow.
I really didn't know he did this. This is so good.
Ladies, this is...
How do you get that back? How do you bring it back from, at least my tits are real?
You don't know anything about me. Like, how can you think I'm not humble?
You generally think that you're the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. My granda says that. Granda? Have you been talking to her? Bet he has. On these old OnlyFans, putting his pension down. Dirty old man. He's actually dead. I'm lying. He's dead. R.I.P. Granda. I bet you would have liked that. So this is Astrid Wett's last fight where she just chased her around and put it on her. I mean, to be honest, based on what I'm saying, yeah, we'll go with Astrid. She's more experienced. She should win. And she's a good character on Misfits. She really does bring some entertainment.
You don't even look like that. You literally look...
No, I don't look like that person. Really great.
Wade wasn't there to catch her.
Shut up.
Are you okay?
No.
Okay, Winderson Nunes versus my mate Nate. The fight I made, by the way. Okay, so this is Winderson Nunes. Nice MMA style boxer. At this level, yeah, he's not King Kenny. You know, Kenny schooled him. But I think he's definitely got good ability. He's a great character for this scene. And he tries to sort of leave his chin out and sort of bait you in and then hit you with a counter. Yeah, I like watching Winderson. He's fun. The problem is my mate Nate fought King Kenny as well. It's impossible to look good against Kenny because he's such a level above these lads. This is a tough one because I think they're a really similar level in terms of technique, but I think Winderson has a slight edge and I think Winderson's tougher. So I'm going to say Winderson gets the job done just because he's just a little bit better. King Kenny versus Anthony Taylor. Here's King Kenny versus Winderson, and this was one of the best performances we've seen from a YouTube boxer in terms of just variety of shots, good technique, looking and acting like a pro boxer. The issue is Anthony Taylor is a really tough guy. King Kenny really didn't give everything he could to get Winderson out of there. And I think the level of determination he's going to have to get to beat Anthony Taylor is higher than what we've seen him have to dig to before. And when Raksu put it on him, didn't love it. This is Raksu versus Kenny. And I think the difference is Raksu hit Kenny at some point in this fight. And Kenny realised this guy hits hard. It put Kenny on the back foot and Kenny wasn't able to land the shots to get control of the fight back. I think Anthony Taylor is a more skilled fighter than Raksu, but he doesn't hit as hard as Raksu in my opinion. So here's Anthony Taylor trading with Salt Papi, and this was one of my most frustrating fights. You can see here, Salt Papi's wanting to box, he's wanting to trade. Anthony Taylor did not want to do that. The issue is Salt Papi hits hard enough to capitalize on his superior boxing in those windows of time where Anthony Taylor isn't hugging him and trying to stop the fight from actually taking place. But does King Kenny? I think Kenny's definitely fitter than Salt Papi. This version of him, at least. It's a tricky one. This is a real tricky one. That was actually nice boxing from Taylor there, to be fair. And Taylor's just crafty. He understands how to win the rounds, when to clinch, when to stop the fight, get his breath back. He plays the game well. And Sol Papi really wasn't defensively as good as he needed to be in this fight. And his energy waned. So Kenny will do both of those things better than Papi, in my opinion. Kenny will be fitter, and Kenny will be more defensively responsible. Okay, this is what I'm going to boil it down to, and I could be wrong, but I think Anthony Taylor has got a really good chin, good heart, good desire, and I just don't think Kenny is going to hurt him enough to keep him at distance so that Kenny can do his good work there. I think Taylor will make it a close fight, stifle him, not let Kenny capitalize on the jab, and Anthony Taylor will win the decision. But I kind of hope I'm wrong, because I think that Kenny is more of a boxer, and I prefer the way he fights, and I'd kind of rather him win. But I respect Taylor's grind, and I respect what he brings to the table, and I think it might just be a little bit too much for Kenny right now. On to Dean the Great versus Waleed Shocks, a rematch of the first fight they had, which was one of the best fights in influencer boxing history. And the reason being is the level of technique from these two guys is very high for influencer boxing. They've both got fast hands, good head movement, power in both hands, technique. They've really got it all for this level. Goes low to the body again. And then we come up high and it lands. Train this guy's brain to think you're going one way and then come up the other way. And I thought that Waleed, to be honest with you, looked just a more complete boxer in these exchanges early on. Not by much. Really close fight. And this is a replay of one of the knockdowns, and Waleed just sees those windows of opportunity with Dean. Yeah. He sees the openings in Dean's game far too easily. And Dean, just through having a good chin, got through this. And that was the retaliation from Dean, and he absolutely floored Waleed. He's called it off. He wasn't out. Dean has star power, right? And there's a level of belief people have in him that he will just find a way to get it done because of moments like that. He made the Misfits fan base just take to him, because it's like, you took those two big shots, got up, and then knocked him out. It was a hell of a win. And I don't want to take away from that. I'm looking at the early signs that were there in Waleed, seeing the openings, knocking him down twice. The fact that he got up himself, and I think you could argue it was an early stoppage, and then think about how pissed off Waleed has been through the months and months since this fight, and how motivated he probably will have been to become the best version of himself. And I think he's going to come in this fight, he's going to be tighter than before in terms of his defense, and he's going to put it on Dean, and he's going to beat him. So I'm going for the upset, because I think most people are probably picking Dean to go for the repeat, and I'm going for revenge for Waleed. Right, this is the last fight, the one I didn't want to pick between, because I love both of these guys. It's a Slim versus Tom Zanetti here, and Tom is a banger. Like, he comes out with bad intentions. One thing I will say is Slim did not do a great job in keeping this at length. Despite him being such a tall guy, he doesn't use his jab with authority like that. He fights all over. He fights inside a lot, in fact. One thing I will say about Slim is with those long arms, he manages to get quite a lot of power in them levers, and he definitely knows how to hurt people. This is a lighter weight than he's been before, and for some guys who are tall, lankier guys, when they drain themselves, it can take an effect on their chin. And when you're fighting a puncher like Sol Papi, that's definitely something you want to think about. The one thing I'm convinced of is this will not be just Slim jabbing and keeping Sol Papi at range. I don't think he'll do that. It's just not in his nature. He likes an all-out war, and that's what we're going to get. Also, it's a 5-rounder, which for these guys at this level is a lot to ask for them. So what I'll say about Slim is he might not be like the neatest, tidiest boxer in the way he throws, but because he's such a big guy for these weight classes, and he's so tough, and he can bang, he just keeps himself in the fight no matter what happens and finds a way to win. It might not look as neat and tidy as Sol Papi, but he gets the job done every time. I think he's undefeated. So this is a chunkier Salt Pappy than what we're going to see on fight night. He's absolutely shredded now. Josh Bruckner paid him a lot of respect. Slim won't do that. Slim won't stay out of range and let Salt Pappy fight at his own pace and his distance. Slim won't give him this sort of space at all. I think Salt Pappy fought this fight as a counter striker, and it played well into creating the openings for him. He didn't force the openings like he tried to with Anthony Taylor. He just let them come to him and took advantage. I would suggest he should do the same thing with Slim. Let Slim be the aggressor and walk onto stuff. Because against Anthony Taylor, he was getting caught, and Anthony Taylor has very short little T-Rex arms. Slim has got the longest arms in the division. If Anthony Taylor can catch you, Slim will definitely catch you, and I think Slim hits harder than Taylor. But yeah, this was a slightly disappointing fight from Salt Pappy, given that we had so much hope for him, and he did look a bit tired, and I think that this will play into why he needs to lose the weight and why we'll get a better version of him on fight night. The thing is with Anthony Taylor is his head's all over the shop because he's constantly changing levels to clinch with you, whereas I think Slim's head will be easier to find. With Anthony Taylor, none of this is hurting. It's all for the judges. It's all for show, whereas Slim, on the other hand, is going to try and take your fucking head clean off, to be fair. All right, I've looked at it, and if you would ask me who should be the favourite, betting-wise, it should be Slim. I think Slim has got the better resume, better overall performances. But the thing that Salt Pappy has that Slim doesn't have is these highlight reel moments where Salt Pappy is capable of a level of boxing we just haven't seen yet from Slim. The coordination, the hand speed, the knockout power. He's capable of a little bit of magic, you know, that I just haven't seen from Slim. So while I would say Slim should be the favourite, I'm leaning towards Salt Pappy on a personal opinion because I just feel like with this new and improved physique and the fitness levels being there, and then everything else should be improved as well because of that, I think Salt Pappy may catch Slim and we may see him win this fight. So I'm going to lean to Salt Pappy. He is my prediction for the win. But if you say it to me, who do I think should be the favourite? It's Slim. I know that might sound like a cop-out, but it's my honest opinion, and I'm just being honest. So that is my predictions for the Prime Undercard. I want to know what yours are in the comments below. Let me know. Don't forget to hit the like button and stay subscribed to the Pain Game YouTube channel because we will be live. Yeah, I said it. For fight night. Make sure you come and check us out on the live stream for the Prime card on DAZN. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.